Hi, dads or other. So I want to talk to you today about this short course, the Birthing Better course on body skills. You know, it's a complicated thing about men in pregnancy or even other women and somebody else's pregnancy. We are very much controlled by a universal truth. Every culture that I've ever been in, traditional communities as well as modern cultures, we all know this one truth. There's no way to know what your birth's going to be like. And so that universal truth, which is really hardwired in our cells, has led us, unfortunately, to a sentence that follows that, which is, therefore, there's nothing you can really do to prepare for your birth. And that's actually inaccurate. And if you feel like you want to do anthropological research on traditional healthcare systems or traditional midwifery or traditional childbirth and pregnancy, you will find that every traditional culture around the world has a lot to say about how women should prepare during pregnancy for their birth. And why do they do that? Because nobody wants a mother or baby to be injured or to die. And nobody wants a woman to suffer in childbirth, which doesn't mean that there's a problem. It means she isn't coping with the birth as it unfolds. And what you'll find is that cultures focus on diet. They focus on what you wear, how much work you do or don't do, whether you have sex, whether you don't have sex, sometimes thoughts, sometimes massage. So all of the preparation for birth occurs during the pregnancy. But what I've learned in the years I've spent in third world countries and traditional communities is that the skills of how to birth and how to cope and manage are actually not taught in any culture because people didn't think about it. I don't know. They were caught in, you never know how it's going to unfold, so therefore if the birth went fairly smoothly, they were lucky. If the woman coped well, she was fortunate. If the birth was long and terribly painful, that was unfortunate. If a woman was damaged or the baby was damaged or died, that was very unfortunate. But the reality is no culture that I've ever been in actually has a plan for the birth other than a lot of support. So this short course of the Birthing Better body skills is one of 3 short courses which are part of the larger Birthing Better childbirth online course. So this particular part of the course focuses on how you can help your pregnant partner create space for the baby. Guys get this. Exercise and plumbing. Big object has to come through a container. The big object has to open the cervix, which in traditional communities nobody knows exist, which most of us don't know exists. We don't know where it is, and we don't fully understand what it's doing. Then the object has to come through the tube of our bony pelvis. So when you get to the mapping pelvis video segment in this, and you see a pelvis, and I hold it up, and you see this big hole in it, most people can't touch that. They don't know where it is. That's pretty disconnected, right? So what happens is that the baby has to open the cervix, move through the bony structure, and then move through the soft tissue of the vagina. Now you have an affectionate relationship to the vagina. And the fact is that men like tight vaginas. And having something this big come through it changes the tissue. But it changes it more if that has to come through something that's tight. And so therefore you're going to learn skills to prepare that tissue beforehand. Now this changes your mind, and it changes your heart, and it changes your relationship to your partner and to your children. You're a man. And the fact is that your relationship to your partner on an intimate level is foundation is sexual. That doesn't mean that sex is the only thing in your relationship or the only thing about your intimacy, so don't get me wrong. But it is a sexual relationship that procreated your child. So you are now becoming a father just as your partner is becoming a mother. And your relationship to this woman who is becoming a mother and your baby that is growing inside changes from being a man's relationship to a woman's body to a father's relationship to the mother who is going to birth your baby. That means learning how to prepare her vagina to open up to this big object is vitally important. 80% of the fathers who learn this skill help. Some won't. And some women don't want you to. But the fact is once you start to prepare this soft tissue and become familiar with how your baby is moving down and where your baby is, then it demystifies the whole process. Birth is a mystery enough. It doesn't have to be mysterious. So knowing what's inside and how to feel what's inside, how to feel where the cervix is, how to feel where your baby is in relationship to the bony pelvis, and how to know that you've created space in the soft tissue and in the bony pelvis is really what's going to help you feel confident during the baby's birth. And if you only learn the body skills, these are skills that you want to use during the preparation for birth. Sometimes you will never use these in birth. You may have done so much preparation your baby doesn't get stuck, or the skills are sufficient enough so that the woman knows how to manage back labor or pain in the hip. On the other hand, if those things happen, you have the skills to work together with during the birth. And many of these skills have prevented unplanned cesareans. And most unplanned cesareans are due to preventable reasons. Okay, necessary cesareans for medical reasons. Gee, well. But the unplanned ones that women look back on 6 months later and feel were unnecessary are caused by women not coping. Nobody wants a woman to suffer. So when women get tired and been in labor for a long time, people just want the birth over with. And cesareans now are safe enough and minimalistic enough so that they're more easily done. The second reason for unplanned cesareans is that babies get stuck and the labor doesn't progress. So not coping and non-progression are the cause of most cesareans today. And if women don't cope, they're more likely to have a cesarean the next time because they didn't cope. And if the baby got stuck, they're more likely to be anxious that this will happen another time. So, and one of the things that we discovered, which is, deep knowledge of skills, is that many families that were very medically high risk were the initial families in this. They wanted skills that could reduce or prevent the problems that they had that were real and identifiable from causing problems during the birth of their baby. Every family wants to have a safe birth. Everybody wants to have a healthy mother and baby at the end of the birth experience. So what you're doing by preparing your partner's body to give birth is you are reducing and preventing potential problems from really becoming problematic. So there are many families that have used these skills with multiple risk factors. And sometimes they have still had lots of medical care, assessments and monitoring and procedures, but they've just gone on and used their skills because this is their baby's birth. So they are birthing their baby with skills. So welcome to this short course on body skills of the Birthing Better childbirth preparation. And one secret, have your partner do these skills on you first. And that way you feel them in your body, and that gives you the confidence to know what to feel in your partner's body. So see you later. Bye, guys.